So no roller, we're doing the wave through the spine, nice and slow and stretchy. With the roller, you pull it slightly towards you so it's tipped. And we're gonna bend the knees slightly and do the same motion with the spine, but now we have a big reach through the arms and just a little assist, something to push against. Reaching forward and curling up and in. This mimics, you know, that stretch we do sometimes on the reformer where we're pushing against the bed and we're standing at the front. So we're just starting to open up the backs of the legs as we engage the core to draw our spine up and in. Just a couple more. Reaching and curling and reaching and curling. Okay, we could do that all day long and it would feel amazing. If you have your roller, take it to your right side, just to the outside of your right foot. Nice wide stance with your feet would be nice. I'm gonna scooch back maybe so you guys can see me a little bit better. If you don't have the roller, you're just gonna take your hand to your hip, no problem. And you're reaching up and over to the right with your left arm. With the roller, it's tilted towards you. And you reach and tilt it, reach it away. And come back up. Let's go for 4. Just tapping into your breath. Breathing in whichever way feels natural to you as you start to come into your body. And 1 more. Great, now we're just gonna add a bend of the legs. I'm gonna turn my toes out just a little bit, and as I reach to the side, I'm taking a little plie or a bend. And again, without the roller, your hand's just at your hip. And that works. Also, maybe you could put your hand on your thigh and slide it out. That's a nice, more dynamic way of reaching. With the roller, we're just tilting it. Couple more. I'm finding that I'm exhaling on the reach, if that helps you all. Last one. And let's go ahead and switch sides right away. I'm going to start with my feet more or less parallel. And we're just going for a straight-legged reach. And back up. And straight reach. Back up. And I'm not being very specific about like where this roller should be. You know, some people like to start with it tilted and your elbow bent and then reach away. Or if you start with it a little bit more upright, it's going to tilt away from you. All those options work depending on how slippery your floor is and all these other factors in your living rooms or bedrooms, wherever you are. Okay, we're going to add that knee bend. So we're turning the toes out just a little bit. Again, without the roller, you can slide that hand down towards your knee as you reach over and come back up. With the roller, nice big tilt to one side. And like before, I was just noticing that I sort of inhale to prepare and then exhale to reach. 3 more. And 2. And 1 more. Okay, let's keep the toes turned out, but we're gonna bring the heels together. So a little Pilates V and arrow V, and we'll take the roller back over to the right side. Maybe if I step forward, the light will get better. Okay. So we're going back into a little side bend situation, but without the roller, hand on your hip, and we're just lifting up and over, little pulses to one side, really trying to pour up and out the crown of your head. With the roller, little baby tilts over to the right. As you do these little reaches, notice if you have a tendency to want to shift your your hips over to the left. See if you can stay right on top of your heels here. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Feel that glorious connection from your heels all the way up through your pelvic floor, and then up through your ribs, up through your neck, out through the crown of the head. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna stay in this little tilt, and we're just gonna rotate our left hand to meet the right. So we're coming into a stretch for the left side. Again, if you don't have the roller, reach both arms down towards the floor. You can always interlace your fingers and just tug on that left arm. If you've got the roller, both hands are on the roller and we're reaching. Let's stay in this rotation as we roll up. So I'm keeping my hip bones as square as I can towards the computer, like 2 headlights, but I'm trying to rotate through my upper body. And then I'm rounding to reach out to the side. Squeeze your inner thighs together and roll it up. And if you don't have the roller, hands are clasped together, and we're just taking a little reach down at a diagonal, and then rolling back up and reaching. And rolling back up. 2 more. Reaching. And rolling up. And last one. Roll it up. Great, let's switch sides. So, we've got our hand on our hip, either doing a little pulse over to the left, or we've got this reach of the roller, trying to wake up that right side. Feeling like your torso is between, I love this cue, 2 panes of glass. So that from front to back, you're staying really narrow. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Notice if you have a tendency to want to move from the hips and the legs. See if you can stay pretty centered with the hips over the heels as you tip over to the left. For 3, 2, and 1. We're going to stay here, add your rotation, hands on top of the roller, or clasp your fingers together in a way that feels nice to you. Could be hand over hand, could be palm to palm. And we're just taking a little reach, and then we're stacking the spine up. Squeeze the thighs together to really stand tall in a rotation here. Rounding, and then standing tall. And if you've got that roller, the arms get to reach out a little bit more, stretching across the right side of your back. And then stack it up, open the chest. 2 more. And squeeze those inner thighs, get tall. 1 more. And up. Amazing. Go ahead and just take a wide stance. And we're gonna reach up with our arms. And we're gonna go through a flat back. I have my legs just slightly turned out, nothing crazy. And we're just gonna reach through a flat back all the way towards the floor. Let the head hang heavy here. Just release the neck. If you need to bend the knees a little bit, that's fine. No worries. Just taking a moment to let the spine hang and stretch through the backs of the legs. And we'll soften the knees. Let's go ahead and pass through that flat back again. So reaching out and up with the arms towards your computer, away from you, up towards the sky. Okay, 1 more time. Reach it out, long, 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 long. And hanging from your hips here. Again, bend the knees if the hamstrings are just not loving this. Just bend the knees pretty deep, no worries. And we'll come all the way back up through that flat back, reaching through the arms and the head. Awesome. All right, circle the shoulders around a couple times. Make sure you're feeling loose in the neck. And we'll grab our roller if you have it. And we're gonna lay down lengthwise on the roller. Claire, or if you don't have a roller, it's being recorded, so some of you don't have rollers at home, that's fine. And you'll just lay down on your mat. I'll angle this a little bit better so the window isn't so right. All right, So if you've got the roller, this is more of a balance challenge for you. And if you're on the mat, this is more like traditional mat work. So arms are just pressing down into the floor at your sides. Collarbones are open. Take a moment to draw your exhale in so that everything is turned on around your ribs and around your pelvis. We're gonna float just the right leg up. Just a little march for the right leg. Just starting to wake up that sensation of neutral spine through the pelvis. Heavy, heavy tail, heavy sacrum. As you draw the hip bones narrow. Now I'm moving a little bit quicker through this toe tap or heel tap, but if you feel like your hip flexor is taking over, slow it down so that you're actually engaging your core before your leg even has a chance to dominate or take over. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great, plant that right foot onto the floor. We're gonna switch to the left right away without any sort of shifting going on in the pelvis. Good. Keep going. Remembering to use your breath to help you. Big inhales, big exhales. And I love the image of like steaming up a mirror with your breath. That type of breathing really gets the transverse abdominis to turn on. So you can experiment with that and see how that feels in your body. We'll keep going here for 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Rest both feet down on the floor. Press into your arms. We're gonna lift our pelvis up into a bridge. Now, if you're on the roller, it's a shallow bridge. Trying to lift that sacrum up off the roller. And then we're gonna roll it down nice and slow, 1 vertebra at a time, curling through the low back until you get to the tail. Same thing, lifting that pelvis up into your bridge, engaging the hamstrings and glutes, feeling strong around your waistline as you roll down. Couple more. Lifting up and softening down. And 2 more. Up you go. And roll it down. And 1 more. We're gonna lift it up and hold. Yes. All right. So take a moment to feel like you're gonna pull your torso slightly towards your heels by engaging your hamstrings, engaging the backs of your legs. We're gonna keep that tightness there, right? Like you wanna tug your whole body towards your heels as we lower and lift in neutral. Lower and lift. Again, if you have the roller, it's more of a shallow lower and lift. Without the roller, you get that bigger range of motion all the way down and whoop, all the way up and all the way down and all the way up. Let's go for 6 and lift. 5, lift. 4, lift. 3, lift. 2, lift. Last one, we're gonna keep it here. Go ahead and lift your balls of your feet and your toes off the floor. So you're flexing your ankles, and we're just gonna tap 1 foot down at a time, like you're trying to keep the rhythm. Little tap, 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 tap. Keep going. Try to stay stable in your pelvis. With every exhale, continuing to draw that navel towards your spine. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, lift up higher, 2, 1. Oh, stay here. Roll it down nice and slow. All the way down through the spine. Awesome. Okay. Go ahead and draw the right leg up to tabletop. Again, if you're on your mat, this is more of a stable position. So you can really feel your ribs connecting to the floor and your sacrum connecting to the floor. If you're on your roller, it's more balance oriented. Left arm reaches towards the ceiling. We're going to reach the opposite arm and leg away from each other and then back in. As your right leg reaches away and your left arm reaches back, imagine you have a seat belt that runs from your left shoulder down to your right hip. And that line is going to stay really tight and connected. It's not going to open or stretch. Now, if you're on the mat and you want to add a little extra oomph or a little extra challenge to this, you could lift your head up and keep it there, right? So if you're on the roller, your head's going to stay down, but I'll quickly demonstrate. If you're on the mat, your head is up, and we're keeping it there as the arm and leg reach away. So my left arm reaches back towards my left ear. Okay? Keep going. 3, 2, and last one. Great. Lower the arm and leg down. Let's change sides. Left leg floats up to tabletop, right arm reaches up. Opposite arm and leg reach, and then close back in. Now that diagonal seat belt is running from your right shoulder down towards your left hip. If you're on the mat and you want that extra challenge, go ahead and lift your head. And keep your head up as your arm and leg reach away. Right, here you are. If you're on the roller, your head's gonna stay down for 3 and 2, last one. Okay, lower the arm and leg down. Excellent. So if you're on the floor, arms open up to a T, your knees are gonna fall to the right as you look to the left. So you're coming into a twist, all right? If you're on the roller, we're gonna circle the arms around, big circles, dragging the fingertips along the floor. So we're opening the chest here. If you're on the mat, let your knees fall to the left and look to the right. One more big breath here. And meet me in center. Okay, widen your feet about the width of your mat for me. Take your hands back behind your neck and skull. This is going to be the same whether you're on the mat or the roller. We'll take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, the ribs drop down. Ooh, as the head lifts up. And man, Loris, that's where I'm sore. And then rest the head down. And again, curling up and resting down. Notice if you have a tendency to want to like curl the tail, see if you can keep that nice neutral pelvis. All right, we're going to pick up the pace a little bit. So we're going to go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, we're gonna stay here. Oh my gosh, it's so cruel, but we're gonna pulse. Here we go. Pulse it up, pulse it up, pulse it up. Draw the ribs down, draw the navel in a little deeper, little baby pulses. Go to that like deep place inside yourself for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest it down. Amazing. Everyone is going to stretch out into an X. Let your ribs flare open. So arms are in a nice wide V and your legs are just straight and wide. And then we'll bring our arms back down to our sides. Let's bring the legs all the way together now. From here, I'm going to come up to my tippy toes. And I'm actually gonna allow my lumbar to reach for the roller or for the mat. So here's my imprinted spine. Working on low belly connection here. Super important to feel scooped rather than your tummy muscles trying to bulge out. So already with this little position of elongation through the back, you can feel how it's tempting to want to shorten in that position. See if you can continue to lengthen out, like you're trying to get longer as you curl the pelvis under. We're gonna go ahead and lift both legs up, and then both legs come down to your tippy toes again. Both legs up, and both legs down to your tippy toes. Using your breath, you can experiment with that steamy breath, if you'd like. If you're on the roller, you're gonna continue with this movement. If you're on the mat and you want more of a challenge, your legs are gonna start to reach out longer as you tap your toes and then back in. So it's like you're trying to tap your toes over something that's underneath you. So the thigh bones have to reach away before they tap. Again, if you're on the roller, we're just staying with this like nice even movement. And if you're on the floor, it might even just be your heels tapping rather than your tippy toes. That's fine. Almost there. 3, 2, and last 1. Awesome, awesome. Okay, go ahead and widen your stance about the width of your mat. We're gonna take a wide-legged bridge. Flex your ankles, so the soles of your feet are off the floor, but your heels are connected. And we're gonna press into the heels to lift up into that neutral bridge, but now my thigh bones are wide. So I have a little bit more glute activation than sometimes I might normally get. So we're lifting up, trying to open up the front of the hip flexors, engage your glutes, engage your bottom, and then roll it down, curling the pelvis to roll yourself all the way back down. Lifting up and rolling down. Notice if you have a tendency to want to use one leg more than the other as you repeat this. And just try to put even pressure between your right and left leg. It's just a great opportunity to check in with your body and try to move really evenly and balanced. Let's do one more, lifting up, squeezing the bum, and rolling down. All right, so if you've been on the roller, you're gonna roll off to one side, come onto your back. Everyone's gonna hug their knees in towards their armpits and just take a little flop side to side. Flopping. Allowing the head to be heavy, so tempting to wanna like lift the head up. See if you can just roll your head to one side and roll it to the other side. One more time in each direction, soaking up this floppy, rolly movement. Great. So we're going to roll over onto our bellies and get some posture work in right away. I'll demonstrate the mat version first, and then I'll add the roller in if anybody wants to try it. So the arms are gonna start at a wide V, and the thumbs are pointing up towards the ceiling here. My legs are wide, about the width of my mat. Belly button's gonna drop in, and we're just going for our little extension here. And I recommend that you think about making it small, a small lift, but reaching long throughout the crown of the head and down through both toes. And then as you lower down, your arms are gonna reach longer. So the hands slide along the floor a little bit. Reaching out and up, and then reaching out long. Make this an abdominal exercise. So the navel has to draw up and in the whole time. Belly button in, 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 and reach it long. Continue on, mat folks, if you would like to add the roller. The roller starts underneath your wrists, okay? We start with the head on the floor. As you lift the chest up and out, we're gonna slide the shoulder blades down, press into the roller, and start to lift the chest up. And then reach it out long. Let's everyone do 3 more together. Reaching out and up, shoulder blades down, neck long. And rest. 2 more. Out and up. And reach it long. And last one. Reaching out and up. And nice. Let's go ahead and take our hands underneath our forehead here. My roller is like, has a mind of its own, it's rolling away. So your forehead is on the backs of your hands. We're gonna bend the knees so the heels come together. It's like a frog position, but we're on our bellies. And just to start, we're gonna keep the hands glued to the forehead as we lift the chest up. So here's your extension again, but this is really tough to keep the hands glued to the forehead. If that's not in your repertoire because it hurts your back, keep your hands on the floor and use your arms a little bit to help you reach that chest forward and up, and then rest it down. Let's just do 2 more like that, lifting up and down, and reaching out and up, getting those shoulder blades to drop down the back, down the back, down the back. And rest it down. Okay, now we have the legs. So as the chest and the arms and the head lift up, the thigh bones are gonna lift off the floor and the glutes engage. And rest it down. Lifting out and up. And down. Good, let's go for 3. And down. 2. And down. Last one, we're gonna stay up there, little pulses. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, belly button in, 2, and 1. Oh, rest everything down. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself back to a child's pose, reaching the arms long, letting the torso fall between the legs. Rest the head on the floor. All right, so we're gonna come up onto all fours. If you have, I'll show the mat version first, and then I'll add the roller in for those of you who have a roller at home. So to start, we're gonna try stretching those back muscles that you just used. So round your spine, pull your belly button in, pull your ribs up, draw your shoulder blades down, and see if you can get a little stretch across your back. And then we'll just find a nice neutral. Okay, one more time. We're gonna scoop into the belly, round the spine to a nice even C curve. So we're scooping down through the tail, letting the head drape heavy. And then back to neutral. All right, so now the left knee is gonna pull in towards your chest as you round. If you can get your knee and your nose to touch, that's amazing. And then find your neutral position, okay? Right knee pulls in. And back to neutral. So we're just alternating sides here. It should feel like you're getting a nice squish around your ribs and around your waist. Keep going, my mat folks. Roller folks. We're gonna place our shins on the roller, kind of right below the knee, not on the knee, but right below the knee. Starting in neutral. As you exhale, both knees pull in, around the spine, and then roll back to that starting position. Exhale, draw the knees in, scoop through the belly, and back to neutral. Roller folks, keep going. Mat folks, for a little bit more of a challenge here, we're gonna go ahead and float the knees up. We're gonna pull one knee in towards the chest, just like you did before, and then extend the leg out before you rest it down. So you scoop in, extend it out, and float it down. Scoop, neutral as you kick that leg back. Curl, reach. Again, if you have the roller, you get to do this exercise that's so similar to what we see on the equipment, right? Pulling the knees in as you draw the abs in tight, and then roll it back. Mat folks, do one more set on each side. Roller folks, we're gonna do one more big tug inward, scooping up through the belly. And then everyone's gonna rest their knees back onto the floor and press back into another child's pose. If you have a roller, I like to rest my forehead onto the roller here. So I've got my arms on the roller and my forehead resting down. All right, and then we'll roll ourselves back up and in. Super. So again, I'll show the mat version and then we'll add the roller. I like this rhythm that we're in. So we're gonna start in kneeling position. If you're on the mat, you might want, actually whether you have a roller or not, if you have sensitive knees, you might want an extra blanket or to fold your mat up underneath your knees for kneeling. We're gonna reach the arms up, they circle up towards the sky. The arms dive down like a waterfall. They sweep against my thighs. And then instead of putting weight on my hands here, I'm gonna go ahead and reach my tailbone long, find neutral, and then go ahead and reach my arms up. And then we'll reverse that. The arms swoop down to the knees. I scoop my tail, and my hands slide up my thighs, okay? So the arms start by sweeping out to the side. I know I'm getting cut off, don't worry. Arms reach out and up. Then the fingertips point down, round the spine as the hands sweep down, press into your thighs. Then we're gonna press the tail back as you reach the heart forward and reverse it. Scoop, reach the arms up. Reach the arms down and then scoop the tail and roll yourself back up. Okay. If you have the roller, it starts by your knees, pretty close to your knees. We're gonna do that same movement. Reach it up, dive it forward, right? Mat folks, you slide your hands down and then lift your arms up. Roller folks, take your hands to your roller. Reach out long, send your chest forward and up, thumbs point towards the ceiling here. Then scoop your tail. Roll your roller back, curl your tail under, and roll yourself back up. Okay guys, let's go a little bit quicker. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, roll it down. Press against your thighs. Or reach the roller out. Right? Mat folks, reach your arms out. Exhale, curl it back in. Scoop your tail. And roll it up. Here we go. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, dive it forward. Get all that nice juicy movement through the spine. Roll it out. Reach the chest up, the tail back. Exhale, curl. And roll it up. One more time. Roller folks, you got it. Mat folks, I'm going to do the version with you. Inhale. And dive it forward. Sweep your arms down. Here we go. The tail reaches back, and I reach my arms up, and my chest lifts. And then I scoop the tail. And roll it all the way back. Up. Nice work, everyone. Let's sit on our right hip into a little mermaid position. Again, if you have the roller, it's going to be on your right side. I'm going to do the mat version first. Right hand goes down. We're going to reach the left arm up and over as we lower the right elbow down. So there's kind of a sweet spot here of like where you want to place your arm, because I'm pressing my hand into the floor to help me come back up to a T and then go the other way. So I pass through my T, I bring my hand to the floor, I drop down to my elbow for an extra little stretch, and then I press into my arm, up to my T, and then over. I didn't demonstrate that very well. Kind of skipped the T position. Make sure you pass through that T. Should feel like a nice stretch for your spine, but that moment where you have to come back to your T, really requires some core work. Mat folks, keep going. Roller folks. Okay, you have the roller on the right. Be careful here with your shoulder. We want to keep the range of motion pretty moderate so that you don't overslide out. But you are going to reach up and over, slide down to your forearm, and then press into that roller to slide yourself back and give yourself an opposite stretch, okay? Let's go for 3 more. Reaching up and over, using that left side of your body to stretch, but then also to pull you back up and tip over. Last one. Reaching out and up. All right, everyone's gonna place your hand on the mat. The roller folks can just leave the roller underneath you. I have a little A-frame underneath me, like a little triangle, so that my hand isn't too close. And I'm gonna press both knees together, both ankles together, as I lift both hips up. Okay, so I'm creating one long line from my knees out through my fingertips. And from here, I'm gonna go ahead and reach my top leg out long. And as I come back down, I can bend my knee to come back in. So it's almost like I get to do a little like karate kick and then back in. Karate kick and then back in. Or for some of us, this is more like a star shape. If you were doing a star jump, your hand would start here and you would come out to a star and then back in. Or we're reaching up and over. So we're adding it onto our mermaid. Let's go for 3 and 2. Should be feeling your glutes, your hips, maybe your left shoulder. 1, we're gonna stay here. Slice that left hand behind your head. Lower and lift your left leg. Tap, 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 tap. Breathe. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that leg up. Little baby pulses up. Up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, rest it down. All right. Let's stretch that glute out. So we're gonna take our left knee forward. My right leg's gonna stay bent behind me, and I'm just gonna reach both hands on either side of my knee and do that same undulating motion with the spine that we started with. So leading with the chest down and then scooping to come up, and leading with the chest down, scooping to come up. If you have the roller, it goes in front of you, and you lead with the chest down as you slide the hands away, and then scoop to come up. Couple more. Reach and scoop. Last one. Reach and scoop. All right, let's switch sides. Swivel your legs over to the right, so you're sitting on your left hip. So without the roller, remember this movement looks like a nice kind of wide stance with your arm. As you reach up and over to the left, we drop down to our elbow, and then it's almost like a single arm press here as you come all the way back up to your T, and then reach for your toes. Up and over, down to your forearm, reach, and to your T. The hard part, and towards your toes. If you have that roller, you place your hand on it and you slide down just to your forearm. Be really careful here not to overextend through the shoulder. So if you ever feel like it's bothering your shoulder or you don't have the control, like your roller is just sliding away on its own, just get rid of the roller, no worries. You can do the mat version. Otherwise, we're sliding out and drawing the belly button in to come back up and over. Let's do 2 more. And last one, reaching over. Amazing. The roller can be right by your hip now. Hand is going to be on the floor. Knees are stacked. Feet are stacked. We're going to lift all the way up into our full sort of diagonal mermaid, reaching from your knees all the way out through your fingertips, and then back down, lifting out and up, and back down. Let's go for 4, and rest. 3, and rest. Keep that left shoulder blade nice and strong as it reaches into the floor. Okay, we've got 1 more. We're gonna stay here, bring that right hand back behind your head, extend your right leg and lift it up and tap it down, up and down. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna keep it up and pulse it up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest it down. Go ahead and frame your left knee between your hands. The right leg is reaching back this time. And we're gonna undulate forward, stretching out that left glute and scoop the belly to come back in. So on the mat, we get to bend the elbows to reach that chest forward, and then nice big wave through the spine as you roll it up. With the roller, reaching forward and scooping up and in. And nice big reach and scoop. 2 more. Reach and scoop. 1 more, big breath. Wonderful, okay. So if you have a roller, it's gonna go underneath your sacrum. I like to lay down first with it underneath my legs and press my pelvis up to slide it underneath me. No roller. You're gonna roll your mat up a couple times underneath your sacrum. So it's only gonna be maybe a couple inches lift, but it still makes a difference, okay? So your sacrum is a little elevated here, and we'll go ahead and hug the right knee in towards your chest, slide the left leg out, and hopefully you'll get a stretch in the front of your left hip. If you're on the mat and this isn't doing much for you, I want you to roll to your right side and reach around to grab your left ankle. Go ahead and squeeze your left glute so that knee is reaching back. If you're on your roller, you're still on your back. And we'll go ahead and switch sides. So on the roller, just extend extend that right leg, hug the left leg in. Should feel like a nice opener for your psoas. Again, if you're on the mat and this isn't doing much for you, roll to your left side and reach back for your right ankle, squeezing your right glute to send that right knee back in space a little bit. Okay, let's come back to our backs. Rollers underneath you or the mat is folded. From here, we're gonna send both legs up towards the ceiling. And I'm gonna start with soft knees. So they're like soft, they're slightly bent. They're not like super rigid and straight, just nice and soft. Arms are pressing down in space. They're either on top of your roller, pressing into the floor, open your chest. We're gonna reach the right leg down and then back up. And then the left leg goes down and back up. It will be specific to your body and your low back, whether or not your foot touches the floor, right? So if you notice that it's really hard for you to maintain a neutral position as your foot touches the floor and you kind of buckle in your back a little bit, maybe just come to a hover and that's fine. Otherwise, little tap and up, one leg at a time. And I know I'm like a broken record with this cue, but I love it. It's like, if you really imagine your legs feed up to your rib cage, which your psoas does, imagine that your ribs are what's helping draw that leg up, right? So that all the effort doesn't have to be low down in the leg. It can be really down into the ribs. Okay, either stay with this scenario if you like it, or we're gonna start scissoring the leg. So one leg goes down as the other leg comes up. Scissor, 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 scissor. Okay, roller folks, you're gonna stay with this, okay? Mat folks, we're gonna take our hands back behind our head and scoop our head off the floor. Here you go, for scissor. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Everyone hug your knees in towards your chest, let your tail round. If your roller goes shooting out from underneath you, it's fine. Take a little rock side to side, loosen up that low back for a moment. Okay, so mat folks, let's unroll our mat. Plant your feet into the floor and lift yourself up into a neutral bridge and then exhale, roll it down. Roller folks, grab your roller, go find it wherever it went flying, if it rolled away from you. We're gonna place our feet on top of the roller and do the same thing. We're lifting up into a neutral bridge and rolling back down. Up you go and roll. 3 more. 2. Last one, we're gonna stay here. Everyone feel as though your thigh bones are rotating internally a little bit. Not so that your knees are knock-kneed, nothing like that, but the invitation for your thigh bones to roll in. That's gonna get your inner hamstring to turn on. We're gonna transfer our weight onto the right leg. Now that might be enough of a challenge, especially if you have the roller to contend with. If you're on the mat and you're feeling good, or if you're on the roller and you're feeling good, let's flip the left leg up to a tabletop. Let's extend the left leg up to the ceiling. Let's lower it in line with your right thigh and lift it back up to the ceiling. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Maybe your left leg's all the way down and you're just transferring your weight into your right foot, and that is a-okay. Let's go for 3 and 2 and 1. Stay up in your bridge, bend your left leg in, transfer your weight to your left leg. Okay, maybe that's enough and you stay there. Otherwise, float that leg up to a tabletop. Extend it up to the ceiling. Reach it long in line with your other thigh bone, and up you go. Reach that leg long, like someone's pulling your right leg out of the hip joint. Okay, maybe not out of the hip joint, but like stretchy, like long, reaching. 3, 2, 1. Bend that right leg in, lift up higher in your bridge, as high as you can go, and then roll it down nice and soft. Oh. Beautiful, my friends. If you have the roller, we're just extending our legs out so that the backs of our ankles are resting on top of the roller. Otherwise, your legs are just extended onto the mat. That's fine. We're going for roll up. Arms reach back. Big inhale. Exhale. Dive your head forward. Dive your arms forward. Reach for your toes. Give yourself a little stretch in those hamstrings. And then we're going to take the posture sitting up out of this version of roll up and roll down today. So I want you to imagine once you roll up, someone's drawing or pulling your waistband back, drawing you back towards the mat as you roll back down. Inhale here. Exhale, dive it forward. Reach for your toes, and here's where that little pull, the waist goes back right away, all the way down. And exhale, reach, and scoop it back. Now, if rolling up and rolling down is really hard for you, bend your knees. As you reach, we're gonna circle the arms around, grab onto the backs of your legs, and use your arms to help you articulate the spine up and articulate the spine down, okay? So the whole goal here is to make it successful for your body and just wherever you're at, and honoring that, trying to get that feeling of pulling inward as you roll up. Even if your arms are helping you, that's still a challenge, right? Drawing in. Let's do one more. Any version of your choice. Let's hang over the legs for a moment. So if your legs are on the floor, that's fine. They're just straight out in front of you. If you have the roller, it's just an extra stretch. And we're rounding the spine, allowing the hamstrings to have a nice tug. And then we'll sit it up tall. Okay, so feet are either on the outer edge of the roller or they're just nice and wide on the floor. That's fine. If you have the roller, squeeze your legs towards one another, so against that roller to get those inner thighs going. If you don't, press those heels into the floor, sit up as tall as you can. Now we're using our posture muscles. Reach up through both arms. Lift your ribs up away from your pelvis. Try to give your spine some traction. Then slice both arms out to the side as you twist to the right. Yeah, and inhale to lift up tall again. Exhale, slice both arms to the left. Sit up tall, use your back. And inhale, sit it up tall. Let's go a little bit quicker. Exhale, twist. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Inhale up. Welcome back, Claire. Sorry, I missed ya. And up. And exhale, twist. And up. And one more time. Twist. And up. Okay. Widen your legs. Either walk your hands out or take your roller out for an inner thigh stretch. So if you're on your hands, right, maybe you just come to here, or you come to your elbows, that's fine. Otherwise, the roller is just a really nice little assist as you reach forward. Good, stay there for a couple breaths. Great, and roll yourself back up. All right, almost there, my friends. 2 more minutes, just 2. We're gonna stretch the hip flexor again. You can get rid of your roller. This is sort of like a grand finale of class. I'll just warn you. It's like a big full body exercise to end with. So we're gonna go to our plank, okay? Using your posture muscles, those back muscles, your belly muscles. Yeah, we're gonna pull our right knee towards our chest. This looks familiar, right? We did this earlier in class. We're gonna try to place our foot down onto the floor. Yeah, kind of like a yoga class. Now squeeze your left glute for me. Transfer your weight into your right leg and come all the way up to a nice lunge. Yes, beautiful. Great, let's reach the arms up to the ceiling. Ooh, can you get a little deeper, a little lower? Open up the front of that left hip. Let's circle the arms around to the side and back, and then come all the way back down to the floor. Lift that foot up again. Ooh, scoop into your belly. And then reach the right leg back. Okay, let's change sides right away. Left leg pulls in, knee pulls into your chest. Scoop through your belly to make room for your left foot. Yeah. Okay, squeeze your right bum. So your pelvis is dropped a little bit. Transfer your weight over to your left leg. And up you go into your full lunge. Beautiful. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. Yes, Claire. Lovely. We're gonna open the arms out to the side and slightly back so the chest gets to stretch and open. And then bring the hands back down to the floor. Bring that left foot back. Let's do one more time on each side, a little bit quicker, okay? Right knee pulls in. Plant that foot. Come up to your lunge right away, find your balance. Arms go up to the ceiling and they circle around to open the chest. And then back down to the floor. Right leg goes back. Left leg comes in, plant that foot. Squeeze your right bum to help stabilize you as you come up. Yes, circle the arms up and around. And bring the arms back down to the floor. And bring your left leg back to your plank. Beautiful. Lower your knees. And because we didn't do a ton of arms today, let's take 5 push-ups of your choice. They can be on your knees. You could be on all fours, wide elbows. This is a great option. You could be from your plank. It's up to you. Let's say you've got 3 more. 2 more. And last 1. Once you're done with your 5, plant your knees down, press back and do a child's pose. Take 2 more deep, full breaths into your back. And then we'll curl into the tail, roll yourself back up. And you are done. Nice work, everybody.
Thanks, Sophia. Sorry I lost you.
Oh, no worries.
The 4-year-old going to retrieve my power cord turned into a failed mission.
Oh. Thanks for joining class today, Claire. I hope you're surviving with the kids and the family and everything.
We're hanging in there. We're hanging in there.
Good. Are you guys able to get out a little bit more?
Yeah, we're able to get out a little bit more, and the weather has been nice, which has been very helpful. The rainy days are the hardest, so yeah.
Good. Well, get out there, enjoy the sunshine, and
thank you.
So good to see you. Thanks
good
for
to
being
see you
here.
too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Sophia.
Thank you, Loris. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you Tuesday. Yeah, that one that the feet on the roller and then having to come all the way up, or I was like, oh.